We are live. We are direct. She leads, she sells with Khristine Genovese. She is the creator of the patented soul intelligence method, where she helps people in a variety of industries to clear their limiting beliefs, step into their soul, and really look at how they can create a compelling future, removing some of the doubts from the past. So she works with lots of health professionals, healers, and also she works in the areas of serving people in leadership and executives. Welcome, Khristine.
Oh, Jay, thank you so much. I'm so glad that we're able to connect today.
No, thank you so much. So tell me, we all have a client base that we really love working with this type of client. For you, who is that type of client that you enjoy working with?
Love working with people who are in service to others, right? And I think hopefully that's most of us, right? But in particular, I've centered my practice around functional medicine or integrative medicine. So people that are focused on healing naturally and helping to help others. And typically, what I've found is that we all have to go through our own healing first, right? Healer, heal thyself, before we can really truly help others. So I work with doctors, I work with nurse practitioners, nurses, health coaches, all kinds of people that are in the wellness field, right? And I help them understand what the underlying emotional root cause is to whatever is going on in somebody's body. So, whatever dis-ease or dysfunction is in the body is typically because there is trapped energy, emotion, old unresolved trauma, something where that energy is pooled in the body that's causing the dis-ease or the dysfunction.
Amazing. And what tools do you use? I mean, obviously your soul intelligence method, but what specifically do you use in terms of your soul methodology to release the blocks?
Well, obviously, just so you know, I actually came from corporate America, where I was a corporate turnaround specialist for many years before stepping into this role as the spiritual gangster. And, where I developed the method and I've been using it. And I actually introduced it in coaching. So the tools that I
Okay.
use, I actually use a book of charts and a pendulum, and the charts are pretty specific. So it helps me really understand what happened, when did it happen, and how do we get it up and out of the subconscious mind to the conscious mind so it can be acknowledged and released. And I do that so people don't have to relive the pain. Like therapy, you're always having to cry that energy out, right? And bring it up, bring it out, sit in it.
Yeah.
And this is a very painless way to do that. And the way it works is it's founded in science, right? I'm a pretty grounded individual, and it's founded in the field called bioenergetics. And that was documented in the 1950s by Dr. Alexander Lowen. And basically, what it says is there's a correlation between your physical well being and your mental and emotional well being, which kind of makes common sense, right? If physically you're not feeling so well, mentally and emotionally, you're probably not doing so hot either. So the coolest thing about my method, I think, is that someone just has to show up. They just have to show up to a Zoom. That's literally all they have to do and be open to receive. And I'm able to do the work.
Amazing. How does it work remotely? I'm guessing, I mean, you might be able to tell me, does in person and over Zoom, are the results the same? Or would it be better?
Absolutely.
The same.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Okay.
let's talk about that because I think, the whole concept of energy sometimes, if we go back to, primary school, right? We all learned we're protons, neutrons, electrons vibrating in this
Yeah.
electromagnetic
Yes.
field, right? Okay. So even though we're physical, we're corporal, I think we forget that we're these energetic beings. So the
Ooh,
only way I'm able to see you right now via this Riverside application is through the internet. Right? I'm in Tampa, Florida. Where are you?
I'm in London.
There we go.
There we
Okay,
are.
so the
There we
only
are.
way we're seeing each other is an energy transfer.
Hmm.
And the receiver is the computer. Or we stream stuff on our phones. We never even think about it. It is an electronic energy transfer. And it's information that's coming over those electrical impulses, right? Through that
Never.
energy. Same thing, music that goes in our ears. It's the same thing. But we don't think about it because we don't see it. So we see it as intangible. But we've become so accustomed to streaming stuff to our phone or on our laptops that we forget that it's actually information that's coming through as an energy transfer. So I'm able to do it remotely without a problem.
Brilliant.
And it's
I love.
also cool because I can see somebody visibly change on the video. Like, I'll give you an example. So there was a gentleman I was working with across the country in the States, and he was using oxygen to breathe, like a nasal cannula, right? He had labored breathing. And in the beginning of the session, he was in quite distress. By the end of the session, he took the oxygen out, he was breathing normally, and he had better color in his face. So I could see him visibly change on the Zoom.
Amazing. Yeah, I think being amongst excellent practitioners like yourself, because I think real results are the currency.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, results demonstrations are the currency. I know you've got a workshop coming up. Tell us a little bit about how you get visible so people are able to attend your workshops and to attend what you have. How do you get visible?
Well, I'm very fortunate because I happen to be the cover of Best Holistic Life magazine this month in January, which you can go, yeah, right? You can go on to Amazon and check that out. In addition, I wrote a book. My book is called Healing Through Soul Intelligence. It's a
Oh, well,
LA
well done.
Tribune bestseller. Um,
Amazing.
Also available on Amazon and Audible and Kindle. And yes, I did record it myself because people wanted to hear my voice. So I thought, okay, I'll do it. So I went out to LA and I recorded it. I'm also in a movie that comes out later this year called The Pillars of Power. And that is a movie that's based on, remember the book The Secret that came out a
Yes,
number of years ago, right?
yes,
About manifestation.
yes.
So this movie is not only about some of the pioneers in transformation, like Marie Diamond and Dr. Joe Vitale, but it's also about today's transformational specialists like myself. Now, if you want to work with me or you want to attend, I do a group session once a month, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. But it is recorded as well, depending on how late that is for you. It could be a little late, but it's a good thing to go to bed too. So that could be something.
100%.
But I do those group sessions. It's called the Soul Intelligence Inner Circle, and that is, like I said, available if you go on my website, which is soulintelligencemethod.com, and that's SOUL intelligencemethod.com. And you can sign up for that or my soul intelligence workshop that I'm doing February 13th and 14th. I'm doing a 2-day, 8-hour workshop where I'm going to teach people how to use half my charts. Okay. I have about 30 charts. So this will be just to do something to help clear yourself and maybe a pet in your home. That's about it. And then from there, if you're interested, you can take my extended course that's available evergreen all the time, where you can be a neuroenergetic health practitioner.
Wow, cool. You're creating a brilliant body of work, Christina. I love what you're doing, going deep.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been an incredible year for me. I was on the cover of Soulish magazine in 25. My book won an award from Best Holistic Life as Book of the Year, which was pretty
Well done.
incredible. And so lots of good things are happening. People are learning about the power of the soul intelligence method. And
Wow,
most importantly, they're healing.
amazing. Speak to me about sales because in my perception, sales equals trust, gaining trust, and sales equals awareness of the trust wounds that
Mm.
people have. Hey, look, I invested before and look, I didn't get anything out of it, that type of thing. What does sales mean to you? What does sales mean to you? How are you closing deals?
Well, to me, it's always about a relationship sale. right? And consultative selling. So what I want to do is I want to find out about you. What's going on in your life?
Mm.
You're rubbing the left side of your neck. So I might say, did you wake up with a pain in your neck today, Jay? And it's on the left side. That's the
Yeah.
feminine side. Could that potentially be your inflexibility with your wife or she being
Oh,
inflexible with you?
oh wow.
You
Christine,
got a little
you know
something
me
going
too well.
on?
Oh my God. Wow. You know me too well.
So, yeah, but in all honesty, having worked as a corporate revenue and turnaround specialist most of my career, I
Okay.
also, besides doing the Soul Intelligence Method, I'm the Chief Growth Officer for Nutritional Frontiers, which is a nutraceutical company that provides, vitamins, supplements, and healthy ways to heal in the physical. And so I'm still very much involved in business and sales. And so relationship to sales for me has always been consultative, meaning I'm going to
Amazing.
find out what's going on with you. Tell me all about you, what's working, what's not working. And
Yep.
then I'm going to share with you what my solution might be. And my solution might be, hey, Jay, let's do a soul intelligence session so we can get to the underlying root cause of what's going on with your neck. And then, hey, maybe I'm going to give you some of my nutraceuticals to help reduce inflammation or relax those muscles with some, good magnesium and natural muscle relaxers. So once we
Listen.
pull the energy out, we can give the body what it needs in the physical to help heal because it's an amazing machine.
Well said. Thank you for your responses. I definitely appreciate them. Let them know what your take on leadership is. Leadership, I
Mm,
think, is a big one in this world of AI, automation, and outsourcing, and like things like this. For me, leadership leans into self-awareness, being aware, first of all,
hmm
with self, and then being aware of the moods, being aware of, yeah, different people as well. So what does leadership mean for you?
For me, it's always been soul led, right? Leading from soul led leadership, leading from the heart, understanding where people are and trying to meet them where they are to help shift things to a positive direction. As a corporate turnaround specialist, that's always been, my focus, like, cause it's all about, what people, process, or technology need to shift in order to make the business operate, right? At, whatever outcome you're looking for, whether it's growing it or selling it. And people are always the biggest part of that, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you have great people and they're in the wrong role. I'm also a big one for leading by example, right? I don't ever
Oh,
ask
yes.
anybody on my team right now to do anything that I'm not willing to do.
100%.
Um, unless I have no idea what I'm doing, then I do want them to do it, right? But at least having the wherewithal to recognize what they do and the value and the contribution they bring. Um, prior to developing the soul intelligence method, I got a coaching credential and I always use that in terms of people development, right? Trying to help people meet or exceed their own expectations. So I'm very much focused on, understanding where people are and helping them develop. That's one of my absolute favorite things in the whole wide world to do. And the soul intelligence method really helps me because coaching is taking someone from where they are today to where they want to go. So it's very forward
Amazing.
thinking
Yeah,
versus counseling, which is how the heck did you get here? Right. So for
100%.
me, this soul intelligence method pulls out all those things that are holding you back from performing at your absolute best. So you don't have to relive it and we can just shift it.
Brilliant. Good to hear that. Let me know, what are you reading right now? I think when you mentioned a point that made me think about a book I picked up yesterday. You probably heard of the book Mel Robbins. You probably
Well,
heard.
yes, let them.
You-
It's the book of the
yeah,
moment.
yeah, 100%. Sort of digging into the book is good because it talks about relationship with family, relationships with self, colleagues. So it's multifaceted in that approach.
hmm
What are you reading, and what's a insight from what you're reading to share?
Wow, that's a deep one. Well, it's kind of interesting. It's women who run with wolves, basically. Which sounds really
I've
crazy,
heard of
doesn't
that
it?
book. Who 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 wrote that book? I think I've heard of it.
It's gosh, what is the name of the woman who wrote the book? I will think of it in a second. It's in my
No worries.
Kindle. But it's it's basically about this wild instinctual wisdom within every woman,
Oh
okay?
wow. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that it's ready to be remembered, reclaimed, and celebrated. So breaking out of the good girl mold and being that creative, natural, wild woman self.
Ooh, wonderful.
Yeah, and just kind of exploring, this book. And it's actually the first time in my whole life that I ever have been a part of a book club.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
so we're
Yeah.
actually reading it together.
Ooh.
Um, and, so I'm highlighting things, I'm taking notes, I'm talking about, how I see myself in the certain parables that and stories that she shares in this book. Like what part of me feels, seen or remembered or stirred by the words, things like that. So we're really going deep. And it's really on, I think for me in my life, my greatest challenge has been on the personal relationship side. And I really think it has to do a lot with the childhood wounds we carry.
Yes.
So as a kid, I always went about being an overachiever
Mm-hmm.
because that was the only way I could get my dad's attention, right? I couldn't just meet the expectation. I always had to
Yes. Yes.
overachieve,
Yeah.
right? And do more. And that unfortunately was because he was an alcoholic and doing a lot of projection, right? So
Mm.
that served me really well in my corporate career, right? I was always, meeting and exceeding expectations and running through the fire, and it was fantastic. Where
Yes.
that didn't serve me was in my personal relationship, because
Oh,
what it would do is make me overdo for someone so they could underdo, and then eliminated, the ability to me have any needs fulfilled, right? Because I was always worried about the other person. If they were okay, I was okay. Most of the time they weren't okay, so I wasn't okay.
yes. No,
Right?
makes
So when you
sense.
start recognizing these patterns, that's something that soul intelligence can help you shift as well. But it's really interesting to read this book and kind of see your own relationship patterns in the book, and allowing me to even go deeper to help shift my own patterns.
Perfect. What's the big plan for 2026 for you?
Oh gosh. Well, I am going to be writing. I have an outline put together, but I'm going to
Okay.
be writing my second book,
Well done.
and it's called A Daily Dose of Soul Intelligence. And so what I'm going to do is take a story from, and some of the many client success stories that are in my current book, but using a story for each day of the year. So it'll be a daily reader with a quote, with a journal prompt, and an inspired action for the day so that people can actually incorporate it into their life, because my word of the year is sacred. I don't know if you practice having a word of the year, but I'm trying to make everything I do really a sacred act in that if I'm in full alignment with something, I know it's a
Yeah.
yes, you
Oh
know?
wow. Amazing.
And yeah,
Love it.
just really making this year more of a sacred devotion to the divine in all that I do.
Love that. Love the link there. If it's aligned,
If it flows, if it's in
it
alignment, I'm
flows.
in.
Yeah.
If
Amazing.
not, it's too hard. Nope. That's a no. We're not doing it.
Perfect. Perfect. Let them know how can they get in contact with you. Who specifically are you looking to connect with?
Um, I mean, it's pretty easy. The best way to get a hold of me is to go to my website. Again, soul as in SOUL, the real
Mhm.
soul. It's method.com. You can see how you could work with me privately. You can sign up for my monthly Soul Intelligence Inner Circle, where you get a group session. This past month, we just did everything around the I am and healing some of those childhood wounds.
Mhm.
And next month, because it's the month of love, right? February,
Right.
we're going to talk about
February.
relationships, those interpersonal relationships, and help shift some of the challenges that we experience there. And that's also where you can find out more about my workshops and my course, and learn more about the Soul Intelligence Method. You could also find my book there.
Amazing. Khristine, thank you very much for being so generous with your time. Definitely appreciate it. She leads, she sells. Thank you very much, Khristine.
Thanks so much, Jay. It was a pleasure.
Brilliant.